is that time. And I made it more difficult for myself. Hello and welcome to my channel, The Danish Readaholic. My name is Silke and today I will be reading the first line of a couple of books to determine which one should go on my TBR for next month. Whew! So, you recently saw me rearrange my shelves. I've come across the first hurdle. I can't tell which ones are sequels and which ones aren't. Obviously, these ones, easy. But the bottom shelf, everything is just like paperbacks. With the same type of pages. So, what I'm gonna be doing instead is, I'm still gonna do the wheels and everything, but I've taken all of the unread books. If I land on a sequel, I will have to read the first line of the first book. If the first line of the first book is amazing, I will pick the sequel, if that is where I've gotten to, of course. If I haven't read the sequel, I will read the first book, if that is the winner. So I'm gonna do it that way instead. So even if I have read the first book, I will still have to determine it by the first line, not the plot itself. So that way I can also get sequels in first line, which would be great. And if this works out and if it makes sense to me when I'm doing it, I might keep this for the next couple of rounds. We are ready. We have 10 possible shelves, so let's see which shelf will be the first one. Alright, shelf number 6. On shelf number 6 I have 21 possible books. 21 unread books on one shelf. Good job. 9. I kind of really hope that that is not one in the stacks. That is the thing I'm excited for when I move and get new shelves, because I really don't like it when I have books stacked like this. If it's complete with books I have read, like this one, it is not too bad, except for I have one here that I haven't read. It is not that bad, or if it's like a complete series, I don't mind stacking them. But when it's multiple books like this, and I'm only doing it because of the lack of space, I don't like doing it. Because if I need to get a book out that's like at the bottom, it's so impractical. But it's temporary. Relax, Silke, relax. Second shelf. Give me something good. 3. Okay. On shelf number 3, I have 22 possible books, so let's see which one we will get. 7. Alright, shelf number 3. Let's see which one we will get. 9. What's 9? Oh, okay. So, the thing with 9, and why I'm not going to be spinning, is because there is 2 books on there in the same series, and both of them are sequels, which means I will be reading the first line of the first book, and then I will be reading book number 1 in case it wins. So, 1. So let's just move straight on to shelf number 4. See which one that is. 8. Okay, so 8 is the exact same case as shelf number 9. So, once again, it is book number 1, but I will be reading the first line from the first book in the series, which will not give me an indicator whatsoever, but I will get into it. That leaves us with the final shelf already. Oh, why did I do that? Okay, shelf number 1, and on shelf number 1 I have 14 possible books. I'm just gonna add it in the same one. Normally a switch between 2, but since it was the last one, so 14 possible books. Once again, there's also sequels and everything, so we'll see what we'll get. Okay. That's actually good. I will now grab all of the books and I will be back. So we actually ended up having to read from books that I have read already in 3 out of 5 of the books that I have picked. So let's just start off with those for some reason, but those were the ones that I got the last. First up, we have shelf number 9, which then would be book 1 because there was only 2. And that is Tale of Magic. Well, technically Tale of Witchcraft if this one is picked, but the line will be from Tale of Magic. Magic was outlawed in all 4 kingdoms, and that was putting it lightly. I'm gonna be as objective as possible. And objectively, I think this is a great first line, because we're introduced to the kingdom or to the land and we're like, so this is a land without magic, or where magic's outlawed, but the title of the book is Tale of Magic, so there will be some magical aspect to it. And the little ending, like, and that was putting it lightly, that makes me like really intrigued to also know, okay, so what's the punishment for magic and why is it outlawed and blah blah blah. So I'm putting it obviously on first place because it's the first one, but it's also a strong first place in my opinion, so we'll see. Next up, this is shelf number 8 then. Graceling. This means that if this one wins, I will be reading Winterkeep, since that is the next one in the series that I've gotten to. In the dungeons, the darkness was complete, but Katza had a map in her mind. No! Oh, this is also intriguing to me. I'm having such a hard time choosing. For some reason, I'm leaning towards Tale of Magic for the more intriguing first line of the 2. But it's extremely close, I will say that. But there's just something about magic being outlawed, and that is putting it lightly, that intrigues me more than this. Because this feels more like a typical YA fantasy introduction. I don't know. But I'm gonna put this as second place, and I'm not gonna think more about it. So, second place. So the third book, which was Shelf 1, Book 2, was once again a continuation of a series. So this is actually perfect. So I'm kind of hoping that this one wins, but I'm obviously still going to be objective about it. But it is A School for Good and Evil. Why am I hoping this one wins? Because I just finished the 3rd book, so it would be perfect to continue with the 4th book in April. Forgot the month. So let's see what this one got. Sophie had waited all her life to be kidnapped. I feel like this is the hardest one I've done yet, because all 3 that has been there so far has been really, really good. And I still have 2 more to go that are actually books that I'm super excited for. So I feel like the strangeness of this is why it's a good contender, because why would you want to be kidnapped? And that's just it. That's just like the first line. There's nothing more to it. It's just like, I wanted all my life to be kidnapped. Oh shit. For now, I'm putting this second. But I might switch it up towards the end, so we'll see. Because I'm very, very torn. Very torn. Next up, we have The Blood Trials by N.E. Davenport. This was Shelf 3, Book 7. I slammed the shot glass down on the table. I feel like this is an easy 4 for me, because it's very mundane beginning. It's still intriguing, I'm not saying that, but compared to the other ones, I'm gonna have to put it 4th, because in my mind, it just can't compete with them, but it's still really intriguing. This is the hardest one I've done so far. I don't like it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you might disagree with my picks, but I don't know, I really don't know. Maybe I even disagree with my picks, I don't know. So the final book that I have was Shelf 6, Book 9, and that turned out to be Daughters of Enrai by Rennie K. Amayo, which is a book that I'm super excited for. So let's see what the first line has in store for me. He stood outside the cave and took a deep breath, but the fresh night air did nothing to calm him. I'm gonna have to put it 5th, because that didn't give me anything. This is the kind of beginning that I don't really care for. Well, I do care for it, obviously, but it's nothing. It's just like, it's very mundane, similarly to Blood Trials, but still exciting. I'm still excited by the book, but the first line just didn't really give me anything. So now I'm back to the Tale of Magic, School for Good and Evil debacle. I have an idea as to how to solve this, but I'm not sure I bother doing it. I could go pick up the 2 books that are actually in question and then read them to myself and then pick. But I'm not sure I want to do that because then I need to get up again. So I'm just quickly gonna read the first line to myself again. I find this so damn difficult. I even took in the next line to see which one was better, but both of them were equally strong. So I'm actually gonna do something that I don't normally do, and I'm gonna pick both simply because the next book of this I have as an audio, and the next book of this I have physically. Obviously I also have this one physically, so I'm gonna pick this as an audio and this as a physical book, and I'm gonna have to read both because I honestly cannot pick. I really can't. These will be my number 1 and Graceling will be my number 2. Blood Trials will be my number 3. Daughter of Enrai will be number 4. And there will be no number 5. Thank you so much for watching my struggle with this one. I don't know why it was so difficult. I actually did really like that I was able to do it this way so that I can read the first book in a series and read the line from that and then pick the next book. I feel like that is a good way to also include the sequels in this. So let me know what you think of it. This will also mean that potentially both The School for Good and Evil, Land of Stories, and Graceling could be here multiple times because there is multiple books in the series that I have not finished yet. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Maybe I would have turned all of them back around at that point, and then we'll see what I do with that. Please let me know which order you would have placed them. Like, how would you have ranked them? If you just want to let me know that you're here but don't know what to comment, you can always leave a green heart. If you like this video, please hit the like icon, and if you want to see more of my bookish content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. And until I see you next time, bye!